Before you scroll away, before the frantic noise and distractions of this world pull your attention somewhere else, I need you to pause right here. Do not look away. Do not skip this message, because it was uniquely meant for you, and it has reached your soul at this exact hour for a definitive reason. This video appearing on your screen right now is not a coincidence, an accident, or a mere glitch in an algorithm. It is a divine interruption, a sacred appointment designed specifically for your weary heart today. I know how heavy your spirit has been lately. I know the silent, agonizing battles you have been fighting when the night gets cold. The world goes completely dark, and the room grows quiet around you. You have been sitting in that heavy silence, overthinking every single detail of your life, whispering questions into the dark, and asking if your existence truly has a divine purpose, or if you have somehow completely missed your path and failed your destiny. You look at your flaws, your past failures, and your current struggles, and you feel spiritually exhausted, deeply lost, and emotionally broken. The enemy has noticed your fatigue, and he has been working overtime to plant deep, paralyzing seeds of doubt in your mind. He has been whispering cruel lies into your soul, telling you that you are completely unqualified, that you are far too damaged, and that the calling you once felt so deeply was just a foolish illusion of your past. But today, Jesus is speaking directly to you, and the Father is declaring over your life, do not doubt your calling anymore. Your waiting season is finally ending, and it was never a season of punishment. It was your divine preparation. The pain you survived was shaping you, not destroying you. I've seen every single tear you cried in total secrecy, when you put on a brave smile for the world, but collapsed under the weight of anxiety behind closed doors. I was holding your hand when you thought you would break into pieces, and your tears were never wasted. Do not turn away from me now. Stay here with me until the very end of this message, because what I am about to tell you will change everything. Shatter the chains of fear and restore your true identity. Your breakthrough is much closer than you realize, and the doors I'm about to open for you no enemy can shut. Listen very carefully to my voice today. My child, hear me clearly when I say this to you today. You are never invisible to me. I know there are moments when you look around at your life and feel completely isolated, as if a thick wall separates you from everyone else. You carry yourself with such immense strength during the day, showing up for others, offering a kind word, and pretending that everything is perfectly fine. But I see right through the mask you wear to protect yourself from the judgments of this world. I see the heavy sigh you release the moment you are finally alone in your room. I see the profound emotional exhaustion that has settled deep within your bones, a deep spiritual fatigue that a simple night of sleep cannot fix. When you sit on the edge of your bed, feeling the crushing weight of your financial worries, your broken relationships, and your uncertain future, I am sitting right there beside you. When you stare into the empty space, wondering how you're going to make it through tomorrow, my presence is enveloping you, even when your numbed senses cannot perceive it. You have wondered in the quietest, darkest corners of your mind if I have turned my back on you, or if I have completely forgotten my promises to you. You have felt like your prayers are just bouncing off the ceiling, never reaching my throne. But I tell you today, not a single one of your whispered cries has been ignored. Every tear that has rolled down your face has been gathered by my hand. Your tears are not a sign of weakness. They are the liquid prayers of a weary soul that has been stretched beyond its limits. The world looks at your outward appearance, your current lack of status, and your past mistakes, but I look directly at your heart. I saw you when you were pushed to your absolute limit, and you chose to keep your faith anyway. I saw you when you felt entirely unloved and rejected, yet you still managed to show grace to someone else who was hurting. You are not a failure in my eyes. You are my chosen, precious child. And the calling I placed upon your life before the foundation of this world has not changed. The struggles you are enduring right now are not proof of my absence. They are the fiery furnace of your divine refinement. Do not let the enemy convince you that your silent suffering is meaningless. I'm working behind the scenes, and I'm about to show you just how much you truly mean to me. My beloved child, let us speak about the silence that has felt so incredibly heavy in your life for so long. I know how much it hurts when you cry out to me in the middle of your deepest distress and feel as though you are hearing nothing but the painful echo of your own voice. You have looked at the empty space around you, measured the lack of answers, and assumed that my silence meant my departure. You thought that because I was not speaking out loud, I was no longer working on your behalf. But I want you to understand a profound heavenly truth today. My silence was never my absence. Before a great breakthrough comes, heaven often feels completely silent. When a master craftsman is carving a masterpiece, or when a teacher watches a student take a final exam, they do not shout. They watch with deep, loving intentionality. I've been watching over you with an everlasting love, tracking every single step you take in the dark. Do not confuse a delay with a denial. What was delayed in your life was not denied. It was merely being protected and perfectly timed by my sovereign hand. If I had given you the full scope of the blessing before your spirit was truly ready to carry it, the weight of that very blessing would have crushed you instead of elevating you. The waiting season you have been enduring was not a period of punishment, nor was it a sign that I have rejected the calling I placed upon you. It was your holy preparation. I had to strengthen your spiritual muscles in the quiet. I had to heal the hidden wounds in your soul before you could lead others. I had to teach you how to depend completely on my grace, so that when the breakthrough arrives, you will have the character, the wisdom, and the endurance to sustain it without losing your way. The pain you survived was shaping you, not destroying you. You thought you were being buried in the dirt, left to rot in isolation, but in reality, you were being planted like a precious seed. A seed must experience absolute darkness, crushing pressure, and complete isolation before it can break through the ground and grow into a magnificent tree that bears fruit for generations to come. Every disappointment, every closed door, and every moment of deep confusion was a necessary piece of the divine blueprint I am assembling for your life. You are not going backwards. You are being carefully positioned. Take a deep breath and trust my timing. The silent season is drawing to a close, and the architecture of your true destiny is finally ready to be revealed. My child, understand that the intense warfare you are experiencing in your mind is not a sign that you have failed. It is a sign that the enemy is terrified of what is about to be unleashed through your life. The enemy wants you distracted because he knows your breakthrough is near, and he wants to steal your focus before you can witness the fullness of my power. He sees the spiritual authority resting upon you, and his only tactic is to make you look inward at your weaknesses until you abandon your divine post. Do not believe the lies that have been whispered into your ear during your moments of deepest vulnerability. The enemy has tried to use your past against you, painting a false picture of your future based on your old wounds and mistakes. He tells you that your prayers are useless, that you are unworthy, and that you will never step into your destiny. But I'm here to tell you that fear is not your future. The whispers of lack, failure, and isolation do not come from my spirit. The enemy throws fiery darts of doubt and overthinking into your mind to paralyze you, keeping you stuck in a cycle of hesitation. He wants you to believe that you are fighting this battle entirely alone, completely cut off from my protection. But my angels are surrounding you even now, shielding you from the terrors that strike in the dark. The enemy cannot stop what I planned for you. No weapon formed against you shall prosper, and every voice of discouragement is already defeated by the power of my word. Your calling is secure because it was sealed by my grace, not by your human perfection. Arise, my beloved child, and shake off the heavy dust of intimidation. Stop evaluating your destiny through your current limitations. The battle you are in belongs to me, and I have already secured the victory. Keep your eyes fixed firmly on me, for I am your fortress and your shield. The storm may rage, but you are anchored in my unchanging love, and the breakthrough I promised will come to pass. My beloved child, look up, for a glorious shift is coming to your life, even at this very moment. I am decreeing over you that your breakthrough is near, and the heavy atmosphere of stagnation that has held you bound for months and years is finally dissolving under the light of my presence. A completely new season is beginning right now, a season characterized not by the tears of sorrow you shed in secret, but by the overflowing joy of my restoration. I am opening doors for you that no human being, no enemy, and no circumstance can ever shut. I am stepping into the ruins of your past mistakes and your deepest heartbreaks to rebuild something far more beautiful than you could ever ask, think, or imagine. What the enemy stole from you in the seasons of your greatest vulnerability, your peace, your joy, your health, your time, and your confidence is being restored to you completely. You thought that you were running out of time, that life had passed you by, and that the promises I made to you were lost forever. But I tell you today, what was delayed was not denied. The delay was merely the womb of your destiny, protecting and preparing the magnitude of the blessing that is about to break forth. I am restoring the years that have been eaten away by hardships, and I am accelerating your path so that you will step into years of divine favor in a single day. Receive this divine prophecy deep into your spirit right now. Let the walls of worry, overthinking, and hopelessness crumble away. I am pouring out a supernatural healing over your wounded heart, over your troubled mind, and over your physical body. The burdens you have been carrying entirely alone are being lifted by my sovereign hand. You will no longer walk in lack, confusion, or isolation, for my absolute favor and peace are surrounding you like a heavy shield. Get ready to witness the manifestation of my power, for your season of waiting is officially drawing to a close, and the dawn of your breakthrough is breaking over the horizon. Trust me, keep your faith burning bright, and step boldly into the magnificent future I have prepared exclusively for you. My beloved child, let the absolute truth of who you are wash over your soul today and heal the deep wounds of rejection you have carried for far too long. The world has tried to define you by your hidden scars, your daily struggles, and the heavy moments when you felt completely broken and unseen. People may have walked out of your life, leaving you to handle the crushing feeling of being invisible, unworthy, or entirely forgotten by those around you. But I am stepping into your situation right now to completely restore your true identity. Hear my soothing voice clearly above the frantic noise of your overthinking and doubts. You are mine. You are my beloved child, chosen before the foundation of this world, and no circumstance can ever strip away your divine value. You are not a mistake. You are not a byproduct of your past failures, and you are certainly not defined by the negative opinions of those who do not understand your heart. I want you to deeply understand how immensely loved you truly are. My love for you is not a reward for your human performance, your flawless choices, or how strong you can pretend to be on your own. I love you in your weakest moments, and I hold you closest to my heart when your spirit feels entirely exhausted and ready to break. You are worthy simply because I have made you worthy, and you are uniquely chosen because I have set my everlasting affection upon you. Look at yourself through my eyes from this moment forward. Stop measuring your ultimate value by the material things you have lost, the earthly doors that have closed, or the fragile relationships that have crumbled around you. Those temporary losses do not dictate the beautiful destiny I have planned for you. You are completely protected under the shadow of my wings, and you are held securely by my absolute grace. The broken pieces of your life are not a sign of final destruction. They are merely the raw materials I'm using to shape a powerful testimony of my goodness and restoration. Let the deep process of emotional healing begin right now as you rest patiently in the security of my presence. You no longer have to perform, pretend, or carry the crushing weight of hidden shame and anxiety entirely alone. Wash away the toxic lies of the enemy that whisper you are not enough, or that you have been cast aside. You are my precious child, beautifully and wonderfully made, and I have an intentional, glorious purpose for your life that will far outshine the heavy darkness you have endured. Remember that your eternal worth was never determined by your seasons of lack, confusion, or spiritual fatigue. You are safely protected, deeply treasured, and held by a divine grace that will never let you go. Step out of the paralyzing shadows of anxiety and step boldly into the brilliant light of your true calling. For you are chosen, you are worthy, and you are deeply loved by the one who calls you his own. My beloved child, as you stand on the very edge of the breakthrough I have prepared for you, I am giving you specific holy instructions for this critical season of your life. To step cleanly into the new doors I'm opening, you must walk intentionally and listen deeply to the guidance of my voice, for it will serve as your compass in the days ahead. The first instruction I require of you is to completely release the heavy bitterness and resentment that has taken root in your heart. I know how deeply you were hurt by those you trusted. I saw the betrayals, the unfair treatment, and the painful moments when you were cast aside. But holding on to bitterness is like drinking poison and expecting your enemies to suffer. It is a toxic chain that binds your soul to the very past I am trying to deliver you from. Forgive those who walked out. Release the anger over the doors that slammed shut, and leave your justice completely in my hands. When you empty your heart of past grievances, you create the beautiful, clean space required to receive the overwhelming blessings of my restoration. Secondly, you must fiercely guard your mind against the heavy distractions that the enemy is constantly throwing your way. The enemy knows he cannot alter the glorious destiny I have written for you, so his primary tactic is to clutter your life with noise, worry, and toxic comparison. Stop looking to the left or to the right. Stop comparing your quiet, hidden season of preparation with someone else's loud highlight reel. Turn off the critical voices of this world that whisper it is too late for you, or that you have failed too many times to be used by me. Instead, make a conscious decision to stay close to me in deep, intimate prayer. Do not treat prayer as a rigid religious obligation, but as a living, breathing connection with a Father who adores you. Seek my presence in the quiet corners of your morning and the silent hours of your night. Let my peace quiet the storm of your overthinking. Trust me with absolute certainty, even when the steps ahead do not make logical human sense. True faith does not require you to see the entire staircase. It simply asks you to trust the one who is holding your hand as you take the very next step. Walk forward with absolute confidence and standard posture, knowing that every single hardship you survived was merely training for the immense weight of favor that is about to drop into your life. Keep your focus locked tightly on me. Follow these divine instructions with a patient, obedient spirit, and watch how effortlessly I begin to align every single piece of your destiny. My beloved child, open your spirit wide right now, for I am about to release a powerful, final, prophetic declaration over your entire life, your home, your family, and your future. Stand firm in this very moment and let these words shatter every remaining chain of anxiety, doubt, and fear that has kept you bound in the heavy shadows for far too long. I decree over you today that the dark cloud of oppression is lifting permanently from your mind, and a supernatural, unshakable peace that surpasses all human understanding is flooding your soul. The intense warfare that has targeted your sacred calling is coming to an abrupt end, because I have already spoken your victory from my heavenly throne, and my words can never fail. I declare that divine favor is now tracking you down in every area of your existence. Where you once experienced constant rejection, silent tears, and closed doors, you will now experience unprecedented opportunities and open doors that no human being can ever shut. Where you walked through barren valleys of lack, financial stress, and overwhelming limitation, I am opening the floodgates of heaven to pour out a blessing of absolute restoration and divine provision. I am perfectly aligning the right people, the right moments, and the right heavenly resources to accelerate you directly into the fullness of your destiny. You will no longer be known as the one who was left behind, isolated, or broken, for I am clothing you in honor, dignity, and supernatural strength. I speak a total ironclad protection over you and everything that belongs to your household. No plot of the enemy, no hidden trap of distraction, and no weapon formed against your health, your mind, or your family will ever prosper. My angels are encamping around you, creating an impenetrable wall of holy fire that no darkness can cross. Your physical body is being infused with my healing power right now, rejuvenating your spirit and wiping away every trace of exhaustion and pain. I am restoring what was stolen, reviving what was dead, and making all things completely new in this season. This is your definitive moment of turning. Step forward with absolute boldness, leave the heavy baggage of your past completely behind, and walk into the brilliant light of the glorious calling I have placed upon your life. For my presence is with you, my favor is upon you, and your breakthrough is finally here. My beloved child, as these words settle deep into the hidden places of your spirit, I want you to take a slow, deep breath and let my absolute peace rest completely upon your soul. Do not walk away from this sacred moment and immediately allow the chaotic noise and hectic distractions of the world to snatch away the holy seed that has just been planted in your heart. You have listened patiently to my voice today, and your spirit has recognized the timeless truth that you are not forgotten. You are not abandoned, and your story is definitely not over. Now is the optimal time to seal this divine covenant of faith within your mind and openly declare your complete agreement with the glorious future and breakthrough I have spoken over you. If this prophetic message has touched the deep, silent waters of your hurting heart, I invite you to take an intentional step of faith right now. Type Amen in the comments below to claim your breakthrough, to anchor your soul in my unchanging promises, and to signal to the heavens that you are finally releasing your doubts and stepping boldly into your divine calling. By writing your Amen, you are not just typing a simple word on a digital screen. You are making a powerful spiritual declaration in the presence of my angels that you believe my report over the clever lies and targeted distractions of the enemy. You are joining a beautiful, massive, global community of weary believers who are all standing together in the dark, lifting each other up and refusing to let the heavy weight of spiritual fatigue crush their fire. Do not keep this comforting light entirely to yourself. Look around you with eyes of pure compassion and think of someone in your life, a friend, a family member, or a lonely neighbor who is currently walking through their own dark, silent valley of exhaustion and fear. Share this powerful message with them today, because your simple act of obedience could be the exact divine lifeline their drowning spirit has been crying out for. Become a permanent part of this sanctuary of hope and daily encouragement by subscribing to this channel, ensuring that your heart stays continuously nourished by my living word every single morning and night. Let this become your daily devotional routine, a sacred space where you routinely disconnect from worldly anxiety and reconnect deeply with the everlasting fatherly love of your Creator. I'm with you always, watching over you, hearing your prayers, and walking beside you through every single storm. Rest safely in me tonight, my precious child, for your breakthrough is closer than you think. My precious child, let us sit together in this holy space and completely dismantle the heaviest, most paralyzing weapon the enemy has ever used against your divine calling, the overwhelming spirit of unworthiness and inadequacy. I have heard the painful, silent arguments you have been having with yourself when you look into the mirror during your moments of deep isolation. You look closely at your physical limitations, the visible marks of time and stress upon your skin, the energy that seems to fade much quicker than it used to, and the deep emotional scars left behind by those who rejected and abandoned you. You whisper to yourself in the dark, "How could God ever use someone like me? I'm far too broken, too emotionally exhausted, and far too late in life to make any real difference in this world." You have allowed the clever lies of the enemy to convince your weary soul that my calling requires absolute human perfection, a flawless earthly track record, and a life completely untouched by failure. But I am stepping into your life today to shatter that illusion completely and set your spirit free. Look closely at the history of my love and the way I operate my kingdom. I have never once called the qualified. I have always faithfully qualified the called. When I looked at Moses, I did not see his stuttering tongue or his fearful past. I saw a powerful deliverer who would courageously split the Red Sea. When I looked at Gideon, who was hiding in a winepress out of absolute terror from his enemies, I did not see a trembling coward. I called him a mighty man of valor before he ever won a single battle. And when I look directly at you right now, sitting in your quiet room with a heavy, anxious heart, I do not see the mistakes of your past, the financial losses you have painfully endured, or the deep exhaustion lingering in your eyes. I see a precious, chosen vessel, meticulously handcrafted by the divine potter, filled to the brim with a unique heavenly treasure that this hurting world desperately needs. Your sacred calling was never dependent on your own human strength, your social status, or the abundance of your earthly resources. It was anchored entirely and permanently in my sovereign grace. The very flaws, weaknesses, and broken pieces you try so hard to hide from the world around you are the exact spaces where my supernatural power and glory will be made perfect. Stop evaluating your divine potential through the narrow lens of your human limitations. I did not pull you out of the miry clay, shield you from the deadliest storms, and sustain your life through the darkest nights, just to let you waste away in the cold shadows of self-doubt and hesitation. Shake off the paralyzing lie that whispers you are not enough. You are more than enough simply because my Spirit lives inside you. Arise, adjust your posture, and stand tall in my presence, my beloved child, for the season of hiding is officially over, and the world is waiting to experience the unique light that only you can bring. Look down at your hands, my child. Look closely at the invisible and visible marks left by the relentless trials of this life. You have viewed your scars as ugly reminders of your worst seasons, reminders of the bitter betrayals that cut deep into your soul, the crushing grief that fractured your heart, and the endless sleepless nights when the tears simply would not stop flowing. You hide these marks from the world because you fear that if people truly saw your deepest brokenness, they would judge you, label you, and reject you just like others did in your past. You feel that your painful history, your old wounds, and your emotional baggage have permanently disqualified you from ever holding a pure, powerful calling. But I want you to run your fingers over those hidden wounds today and hear my truth. Your scars are not badges of shame. They are the undeniable trophies of your supernatural survival. They are living proof that when the enemy tried his absolute hardest to destroy your mind, demolish your faith, and completely extinguish your life, he failed miserably. You are still standing. You are still breathing. You are still holding on to a flicker of faith. And that resilience alone makes you a decorated warrior in my heavenly kingdom. Do not despise the wounds that broke you open, for it is through those very fractures that my divine light will shine out to a dark and hurting world. The world values flawless, untouched things, but I choose the broken vessels to confound the proud. Think of my son, Jesus. When he rose from the dead in absolute resurrection power and victory, triumphing over death, hell, and the grave, he did not return with a flawless, unmarked body. He intentionally kept his scars. He showed Thomas the deep imprints of the nails in his hands and the piercing wound in his side. Why? Because those scars were the ultimate proof of his love, his sacrifice, and his final victory over darkness. In the exact same way, your scars are the very credentials of your future ministry. They are the holy keys that will unlock the heavy prison doors for others who are currently trapped in the same dark, suffocating valleys you just escaped. You cannot authentically comfort the brokenhearted if your own heart has never been shattered. You cannot confidently lead someone out of the fierce fire if your own clothes have never smelled like smoke. I am turning your deepest pain into your greatest platform. The very areas where you suffered the most intense spiritual warfare, whether it was crippling anxiety, toxic rejection, severe financial limitation, or chronic physical illness, are the exact areas where I am establishing your highest spiritual authority. When you speak from your scars rather than your pride, your words will carry a supernatural weight that will shatter the chains of depression and hopelessness in those around you. People will look at your life, notice the radiant peace in your weary eyes and the unshakable strength in your frame, and they will know that only a miracle-working God could have brought you through. Stop hiding your story. Stop wishing away the chapters of your life that brought you to your knees. I am weaving every single tear, every broken dream, and every painful scar into a magnificent redemptive masterpiece. Your pain was never a waste. It was the heavy price of your unique anointing. Step out of the shadows of regret and let the world see the beautiful resilience of a child who was broken by life but completely put back together by the healing hands of the Father. My beloved child, let us silence the ticking of the earthly clock that has been keeping you awake in the dead of night, filling your mind with panic and regret. I have seen you stare at the calendar, tracking the passing of the months and years, and feeling a terrifying, suffocating sense that time is running out for you. The enemy loves to whisper to you when you look at your aging reflection, or feel the physical limitations of your body, telling you that your best years are completely behind you, that you waited too long, and that the mistakes of your past have permanently delayed my promises. He wants you to believe that you have been left stranded on the shelf of irrelevance, while the rest of the world speeds past you. but I am stepping into your reality today to remind you of who holds the clock. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the author of time and the architect of seasons. I do not operate under human schedules, earthly deadlines, or physical constraints. When I am in the story, time is not your enemy. It is my servant. Listen closely to this prophetic reality. I am releasing the spirit of divine acceleration over your life in this very season. In my kingdom, a single day of my favor can easily accomplish more than 50 years of grueling human labor. You have been walking through a long, agonizing, crawling season where every single step felt heavy, slow, and completely stagnant. You felt like you were putting in all your effort just to stand still. But I am introducing you to the suddenly of God. Look at my word. Joseph went to sleep as a forgotten prisoner in a dark, damp dungeon. But suddenly, within 24 hours, he was standing in Pharaoh's palace as the second most powerful ruler in the land. David spent years hiding in cold, lonely caves, fleeing for his life, but suddenly his season of hiding ended and he was crowned king over all of Israel. You are entering your divine suddenly. The breakthroughs you have been weeping and fasting for, the prayers you whispered 10 years ago that you thought were lost in space, are all converging into a single moment of manifestation. I'm going to compress time on your behalf, my child. I'm going to make things happen so fast, so beautifully, and so effortlessly that it will cause your mind to marvel. The doors that remained locked against you for a decade will fly open in a single afternoon. The financial restoration you thought would take a lifetime to rebuild will drop into your hands through a single, divinely orchestrated connection. The physical strength and vitality you thought were gone forever are being supernaturally renewed, giving you the stamina to run the race I have set before you. Stop measuring your future by your human speed. When my wind blows behind your back, you will overtake those who had a 20-year head start. Your current age, your physical exhaustion, and your past delays mean absolutely nothing to my anointing. Do not panic about the wasted years, for I am the God who restores the years the locusts have eaten. Your most impactful, most joyful, and most powerful chapters are being written right now. Trust my supernatural pacing, hold my hand, and get ready, for the shift is happening, and your divine acceleration has begun. My beloved child, let my presence breathe over your troubled mind right now and permanently dismantle the spirit of silent anxiety that has held your thoughts hostage for far too long. I have watched you endure those agonizing moments in the dead of night when the world is completely asleep. But your mind is racing at a chaotic, uncontrollable speed. I have felt the sudden, heavy tightness in your chest, the unexplainable knot of dread in your stomach, and the exhausting rhythm of your racing heart as you lie awake, completely paralyzed by fear of what tomorrow might bring. You have tried so hard to intellectualize your worries, analyzing every possible scenario, desperately trying to protect yourself from future pain and unexpected disasters. The enemy has used this silent, suffocating anxiety to rob you of your sleep, steal your joy, and make you feel like your mind is an unsafe place to inhabit. But I am standing over you in this very moment to command the storm within your soul to be still. Hear me clearly, my child. Fear is not your inheritance, and anxiety is not your destiny. I did not design your beautifully complex mind to carry the crushing weight of tomorrow's uncertainties today. When you overthink and worry about things you cannot control, you are trying to play the role of the Creator, carrying burdens that were only ever meant for my sovereign shoulders. I want you to surrender the illusion of control and hand over every single terrifying projection of the future into my capable hands. I'm pouring out a supernatural, unshakable peace over your mind right now. A peace that does not depend on your bank account, your physical health, or the stability of the world around you. It is a peace that passes all human understanding, acting as a heavily armed divine guard over your heart and your thoughts. From this night forward, I am reclaiming your sleep and restoring your rest. When you lay your head down on your pillow, you will no longer be greeted by the agonizing whispers of lack, failure, or impending tragedy. You will be enveloped in the comforting warmth of my absolute protection. I am rewriting the neural pathways of your mind, replacing the old, deeply grooved patterns of worry with vibrant, beautiful thoughts of hope, favor, and victory. When anxious thoughts attempt to knock on the door of your heart, remember that I am the gatekeeper of your soul. You can rest deeply and safely, knowing that the God who watches over you never slumbers or sleeps. The battle for your peace has already been won. Take a long, deep breath, release the heavy tension from your shoulders, and sink into the beautiful, perfect rest that I have exclusively prepared for you. My beloved child, let us lift your eyes and shift your focus toward the magnificent grand tapestry I am weaving through your life, a divine work that extends far beyond your own years and deep into the lives of those you love the most. I know the hidden, heavy sorrow that is quietly nested in your heart as you look at your children, your grandchildren, or the generation following behind you in this world. You see them navigating a chaotic, fractured, and dark society, and you worry that your own struggles, your financial setbacks, and your moments of human weakness have somehow failed them. You fear that your pain has cast a shadow over their future, and that you are leaving them a heritage of brokenness rather than a legacy of true blessing. The enemy has heavily exploited this vulnerability, whispering that your life's work has amounted to nothing and that you have no valuable inheritance to pass down. But I am here today to open your spiritual eyes and show you the true, eternal weight of the calling you have carried. Hear me clearly, my child. The most powerful, world-changing inheritance you can ever leave behind is not a mountain of earthly gold, a massive bank account, or physical property that eventually rusts and decays. It is the unshakable, unbreakable foundation of your faith. Every single prayer you have tearfully whispered over your family in the dead of night, every moment you chose to trust me through a blinding storm, and every scar you carry from your private victories has been recorded in my heavenly books. You are not a Gan-nang, a burden to your family. You are their spiritual anchor. The very trials you survived were designed to break generational curses of fear, lack, and anxiety that have plagued your bloodline for decades. Because you refused to give up, because you kept a flicker of faith alive even when your soul was entirely exhausted, you have effectively altered the spiritual trajectory of your lineage. I am declaring a multi-generational blessing over your household right now. The breakthrough and favor I am dropping into your life in this new season will overflow effortlessly onto your children and your children's children. The prayers you prayed 20 years ago, which you thought were completely lost in space, are forming an invisible, impenetrable shield of divine protection around your family at this very hour. They will step into open doors of opportunity, supernatural peace, and grace because of the secret faithfulness you displayed in your deepest valleys of preparation. Your calling was never just about you. It was a rescue mission for your entire bloodline. Stand tall, adjust your posture, and walk with absolute dignity, my child. You have run a magnificent race. You have fiercely guarded the faith, and the spiritual mantle you are passing down will burn brightly for generations to come. Your life is an enduring masterpiece of my grace, and your legacy is fully secured in me. My beloved child, we have arrived at the sacred threshold of this divine encounter, but my presence does not depart from you when these words fade into silence. This is not an ending, it is your glorious new beginning. As you return to the routines and noise of the world, carry this ultimate truth within your spirit. You are fully equipped, completely covered, and beautifully anointed for the path that lies ahead. The heavy shadows that tried to swallow your joy and paralyze your purpose are now in full retreat. The brilliant dawn of my favor is shining directly upon your face, wiping away every trace of exhaustion and fear. Look forward with eyes of unshakable hope, for you are no longer walking in your fragile human strength, but in the limitless supernatural power of my spirit living inside you. Every chain of your past has been permanently shattered. Every tear you cried in your hidden seasons of isolation has been transformed into a fertile river of generational blessing. Your true identity has been fully restored, and your sacred calling has been completely redeemed from the hands of the enemy. You are stepping out of the dark valley of survival and walking onto the high mountains of your divine destiny. Do not let the whispers of doubt tempt you to look back at the ruins of what you left behind. Your past is dead, and your future is entirely secure in my hands. Receive my final sovereign benediction over your entire life, your home, and your family today. May the Lord bless you with overflowing abundance and guard you with an ironclad shield of holy protection. May he make his face shine brightly upon you, illuminating your path with divine wisdom, and be extraordinarily gracious to your soul in every season. May he lift up his loving countenance upon you, answering the deepest unspoken cries of your heart, and grant you his perfect, supernatural peace, a peace that no storm can disturb and no earthly chaos can steal. Go forth from this sanctuary with your head held high, adjusting your posture to reflect the royal identity I have bestowed upon you. You are a decorated warrior of light, a living monument to my grace, and a beautiful beacon of hope to a hurting world. Do not fear the challenges of tomorrow, for the sovereign creator of the universe is walking right beside you, holding your right hand and fighting the battles you cannot see. Walk forward in absolute victory. Step boldly into your unprecedented favor and rest deeply in my unchanging, everlasting love. You are safe. You are qualified. You are completely free. Amen.